everybody, welcome back to microbeerreviews.com, and every time I get to review an IPA, I get excited, and it's an IPA I've never had before. I got it on a beer trade. It's from the Schafly, is the way I was told it's pronounced, Brewery out of St. Louis. This is a beer that I can't buy on the East Coast, and it's something, like I said, that I get on a beer trade occasionally. I've reviewed a few of their beers. Liked a few, not liked a few. But like I said, any IPA I get to try, I get excited about. So we're going to talk about this. It's a special release. This is something, they call it an American Indian Pale Ale. It's 7.2% alcohol, which is right on cue for an IPA. And I want to mention on the front of the label, it says, "There can't be good living where there isn't good drinking." And that's from Benjamin Franklin. So I think it's very smart. I talk a lot about marketing, to throw something in there that kind of makes you want to buy it or look at it or be interested in it when you look at the label. Also, the green label I also want to mention, I think is very unique and smart with an IPA. I associate IPAs with green labels. I don't know why. I think a lot of the ones I like have green labels. I have always thought that way. So, looking at it, it is a little bit hazy, a little bit cloudy. It's got a real nice head on it. It kind of coats the top of the beer and around the glass. When I poured it, I always take a picture. I post it on microbeerreviews.com on our website. Had a little bit of a head, but not too much. I like the carbonation factor. A little bit on the hazy side, but I would not label this as unfiltered. It's a little cloudy, slightly hazy. It's got a nice color to it. I mean, this is exactly what a pale ale, Indian pale ale, should look like. Its IBUs are 65. So you hear a lot about Indian Pale Ale starting at around 60 IBUs, so it's right on cue with that as well. It's got, let's see, 2 different kinds of hops, Amarillo hops and Simcoe Centennial hops. Never heard of a Simcoe Centennial hops. 2 different, two row and crystal malted barley. Typical what you would see in an IPA. The way they describe it is it has bold flavor with American grown hops, golden colored, full bodied, made with large quantities of 2 row and crystal malted barley. The other thing they talk about this is the citrus and the fruit undertones. I would call this a very fruity and citrusy IPA. When you smell it, it smells sweet and hoppy. The hop smell comes first. Second is the citrusy sweet part. When you taste it, it's definitely on the sweeter side than the drier side of an IPA. The other thing they talk about is they want this to be labeled as a big hop beer. I consider something really hoppy when IBUs get in the 80s or into the 90s. So like Dogfish 90 Minute, that's hoppy to me. This beer, when I taste it, it's hoppy, but the citrusy part nails your palate immediately. So it doesn't, the hoppy part doesn't stay in your palate in the aftertaste for what I would label as a very hoppy beer. On their label, it talks about IPA has enough malted barley and backbone to stand up to the intense bitterness. I don't think that's right on with my palate. It's got barley in it, yes. It's got hoppiness to it, bitterness to it from the hops. But it, I think, in my opinion, has a really good balance of the citrusy, fruity flavor with the hoppy level that it has. So it's not as dry as other hoppy IPAs. And it's definitely not as bitter as other hoppy IPAs. But I like it a lot. I would definitely buy this beer again if I could ever find it. I can't find it in my area. I don't know, other than the fact that it said it comes in 6-packs and on draft, I have no clue what it costs. And I know it's a limited special release. So, if you could find it, I would buy it if you like IPAs or like anything hoppy. I think it's a really good beer. It's different than a lot of IPAs because of how sweet it is and how citrusy it is. I'd give it a 4 on our grading scale. And if I ever see it, I would definitely buy it. I would definitely order this if I was in a restaurant and it was on draft. This would be a phenomenal beer to have before dinner. sitting at a table and figuring out what you're going to order, definitely buy this beer. I think it's it's a nice IPA to have to have 2 or 3 because of the characteristics of how sweet and hoppy it is. So only one I've ever seen, only one I've ever tried, and I will end this review with definitely buy it, definitely try it. I liked it a lot, and Benjamin Franklin has a lot of beer quotes. The man definitely loved his hops, and whether Ben Franklin ever tried this beer or not is irrelevant. These guys were smart enough to put his quote on this beer, which in my opinion means you need to buy it, and you need to support it. So, thanks for watching microbeerreviews.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot of great beers coming out. My favorite season in the fall is coming up. We have a lot of good beer reviews and festivals coming up for you, so don't forget to leave some comments, and we'll see you again real soon.